So your first step is finding a school. Now, there are lots of options when it comes to finding a school. But for me, if we're looking at, if you want to train anywhere in Africa, you have a few options. You can go to South Africa, you can go to Kenya, you can go to Ethiopia, you can go to Nigeria. But for me personally, I'd prefer going to South Africa. So my journey will begin from South Africa. Anyway, just kidding. So in South Africa, there are lots of schools. There are lots of great schools that will help you to achieve your dream. Now, you first need to get your commercial, your private pilots. First, you need to get your SPL, student private SP, student private license. Yeah, student private license, your SPL. Now, before you get your SPL, you are required to do medical. I think it's a class A or a class B medical. Right. Now, once you pass your medical, you are granted your SPL. Now, with your SPL, you'll be able to now train to get your PPL. That's your private pilot license. Okay. Now, with your PPL, you will then transition to doing your night rating. And after your night rating, you do your commercial. You do your multi-engine. No, you do single engine, then you do multi-engine. Okay. Now, with your PPL, you are required, the requirement to getting your PPL is you need to pass all 8 examinations. There are 8 examinations to write, and you need to pass all 8. Okay. Then after you do your practical flying, the flying in itself, you fly, and you need at least a minimum of 45 hours flying. Okay. You do parts with your instructor, and then you do your solo. Then you do a cross country. Now, when you are done, you get your night rating. From your night rating, you get your so straight to your commercial. Now, when you get your commercial license, that's not even it. That's just the beginning of it. Now, you need a type rating. A type rating is, so for instance, is as though you are saying I can drive, but you have a specialty in driving only Porsche. So let's say a Porsche 911 or 911, Porsche 911. So that's something like that when it comes to aviation. So you need to be type rated. Now, there are so many aircraft that you can be type rated in. So the company you would be working for usually would do the type rating for you. But in some other companies, they require that you go and do your own type rating. So it's a journey. You need to be patient, and you need to take your time and go through it. It's not a straightforward thing. Some people are able to get. So now, to answer the question, how long will it take for you to become a commercial pilot? It depends on the individual. If you're pretty much very intelligent and you are taught everything once, and you're not scared of flying, and you don't have to repeat your examinations, all things being equal, it's believed that within 14 months in South Africa or less, you should be able to get your commercial license. How realistic is this? We will soon find out how realistic it is. I've seen someone on YouTube, a young lady on YouTube, saying it's not realistic. You should give yourself at least 6 months to finish your PPL. And I find it a little ridiculous, because if I'm prepared for the exams and I pass, and at least every week I'm writing one exams. I mean, if I'm speaking for those coming from Ghana, if you've had examinations in Ghana, in a week you're packed with like 4 or 5 of it. So coming from that kind of pressure, I believe that you should be able to finish under 3 months, all things being equal. When I say all things being equal, I mean the weather, because I mean, if the weather is not good, you won't fly. If it's windy, you won't fly. If it's stormy, you won't fly. I mean, the weather has to be like the day is bright, and you know the song. So it has to be just that. If not, you don't fly. So if a whole month passes and the weather is, and you don't fly, you can't finish in 3 months. That makes sense. So 6 months is a lot, but realistically it's achievable in 6 months. Some people are able to finish their PPL within Within 3 months. I've seen a lot of people finish within 3 months. My mentor finished within 3 months. He studied with US Aviation Academy. He finished his PPL in. Actually finished his whole program under 9 months. Intensive, vigorous. All he did was steady, fly, steady, fly. So if your goal is to finish within 14 months, it's achievable. But you'll be told 2 years. In South Africa, you'll be told 2 years because they are considering the fact that you might have to rewrite some of the examination when you don't pass. You may have to retake some of the lessons when you don't pass. And so give yourself at least 2 years. And there's a question of how much would it actually cost you? That also depends on you, because if 40,000 is going to last you for a year or 6 months, and you now have to spend 2 years, you do the math. So I'm unable to tell you it's going to cost you X or Y, but averagely between $40,000 to $60,000 should cost you that much, between $40,000 to $60,000 to get your commercial in South Africa. I don't know about other places. I know about South Africa. In the US, I know of a school, US Aviation Academy. They were giving a complete package for I think it was under $60,000. It came with accommodation. It came with all the things you're basically going to worry about. They give you accommodation. They give you your equipment, your basic equipment to study. I mean, you are given an iPad and a number of items. So I think you do a down payment of at least 40 to 50% of it. Then you are enrolled. I mean, I can leave a link below for you to check the schools out. That's US Aviation Academy. That's in the US. But in South Africa, there's Algoa. That's where I'm going to. There's Madimba. There's Flight 43. There's Blue Chip. Top of my head, these are the schools I can remember. There are a number of great schools, but for me, I would go to where my mentors have been, and they've spoken well about the place. So I am going to Algoa, and this is my journey. About the 102, what's it take you to the downstairs? Well, April Fool, George.